Okay, looks like the stream is running. Let's just do a very quick audio check. Looks like the mic's picking up. Game audio is being picked up. Great, great, great. I think we're all good. Hello, everyone. Ah, great, mics work. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. It's Farflung Wanderer again. We're going to be continuing our playthrough in our second career of Aloft Sturmovik. This time we are playing as Junior Lieutenant Vadim Stepanov of the 27th Fighter Regiment, or IAP. The last time we flew, we did, I believe it was 2 bomber protection missions. We were escorting Sturmoviks, and we managed to shoot down an enemy aircraft, a Bf-110. So we actually got a reward in the form of money and a medal. So we're going to move on to the next day, 6th October 1941. Oh, we got stuff going on. Hang on. So average weather, clouds at 1300 meters, temperature 2 degrees Celsius, barometer at 738 millimeters mercury, winds from the south-southwest at 2 meters a second. We were reinforced by 2 additional MiG-3s and 1 additional I-16. And we got a new newspaper. I'll just flick over to that. Yes, okay. Like if you remember from our first campaign as Peter Dvorabayev, at this time, the cities of Vyazma, I'm pretty sure, and Bryansk have been encircled by the Germans. And in fact, if we check the headquarters to look at the front line, there's that pocket. There-ish. So, looking at the planning room for today, just one flight, which makes me feel like there might be a scramble later in the day. We'll be doing an enemy vehicle column attack, and we'll be flying an I-16. That's exciting and scary. It'll be a good... Oh geez, how far away is that? 175 kilometers away. Just checking to make sure. Yep, we're good. Let's get to it. Yep. Thank you for the reminder, IL-2. The Battle of Bodenplatte expansion is coming out, I think, pretty soon. There's a big update coming, I think sometime next week, that'll be introducing, if I'm not mistaken, the ME-262 to the game. Or something. I'd have to check the notes. There was a dev diary today and I skimmed through it. I just remember seeing a lot of ME-262 pictures. Anyways, so we'll be... Here we are. We are number 2 in the flight. Taking off at 0804 Moscow time. We'll be doing a ground attack mission, which will be interesting. So, looking at the flight path, we take off from Migalovo, southeast bound at 170 for 10 kilometers, and then we take a right-hand turn over Danilovskoye. You'll have to forgive my Russian pronunciation, it's not very great. To waypoint 2, which is at bearing 213 for 91 kilometers, where we'll make a slight adjustment over Pogoreloi Gorodishche. Not sure. Where we will head towards our target zone, which is at bearing 201 for 82 kilometers. We can expect the Germans to have fighter cover. In fact, I would expect to be bounced sometime between waypoints 2 and 3. When we're done there, we'll fly out on a northeast heading at bearing 37 for 87 kilometers over the village of Knyazhi Gori. I'm not, again, my pronunciation. Then up to waypoint 5, where we produce our landing, so that's at bearing 17 for 95 kilometers. The I-16 is not something I've flown in a long time, and it's not something I've ever flown on stream, so it's an open seat. In fact, it would be easier if I just pull up the plane itself. This is the I-16. It was an interwar fighter, monoplane. I believe it's an all steel or aluminum construction. In a way, it's very modern, but it's still... If you've ever seen pictures of the 1920s like racing aircraft, this is very much what that's supposed to look like for a reason. That was what was considered to be the fastest of the era. It's known as the Ishak, if I'm not mistaken, which is, if I'm not mistaken again, is Russian slang for donkey, or more appropriately, ass. So it had its detractors. You'll notice I just clicked down the fuel by 4%. There was a bug in the game that I'm not sure if has been patched. At least I believe it was a bug, where if the fuel was set to 100% on an I-16, it will actually not be filled up all the way to 260 liters. It's kind of bizarre. Oh my god, it looks like a dumpster. It is kind of. It's a very unique plane. As you'll notice, there's no... you're completely exposed to the elements the entire time. I need to turn on this weapon convergence to 200 meters as our standard. We'll be taking, under modifications... Oh, interesting. I could change... what kind of windscreen do we have right now? Oh, I see. It's a two-piece windscreen. We could replace it with a one-piece windscreen, like so. Interesting. Given that we're relatively new to the squadron, I'm just going to go with whatever the squadron mechanics give us. Just a bit of roleplay. Beyond that, we have two Fab 100 bombs, and we have, instead of the Shik-ass machine guns, we have Shivak 20mm cannons. So that gives us... So it says we've got 1,000 Shik-ass rounds. Ah, that must be the nose-mounted machine gun there and there. Yeah, where are the ejection points for that? I think that's an ejection port there, and yeah, one there. And in the wings, instead of more Shik-ass, we have these big cannons, which on the IL-2 we should be familiar with. No reason not to. Yeah, true. There's the Fab 100s. As you notice, they're not in bomb bays. We're going to be towing these things up. This plane comes with a variety of skins that we won't be using, but it's got this nice winter camo, Golubev's camo. I'm afraid I don't know who many of these aces that they are using the colors of, like, who they are, but it's still neat to look through. A white splash. Terrakin, with that green-black camouflage, that was very common. Another winter camouflage. This is a kind of unique one with that red tail. This one has red wings, it is otherwise a winter camouflage. Here's one from the Spanish Civil War, which is kind of neat. Za Stalina. It's, for Stalin, in other words. And then Red 5. Hang on. I just got a notification that went all the way through. I don't know if that showed up on stream or not. But my computer is being helpful. Yeah, Red 5 is an aerobatic team color, which is pretty neat. Anyways, with that handled, I just need to very quickly read through some of the quirks of this thing. Combat debut June of 1941, which makes sense because that would be Operation Barbossa. Or Barbarossa. Barbossa's the pirate. Okay, so let's see. The engine has a boost mode. Push the boost lever fully forward and increase the engine to 2300 RPM. The engine has a two-stage supercharger, which should be manually shifted at 3,000 meters. We will never be flying above 1,000, so unless we decide to go for altitude in a dogfight. Did the computer just give me a master caution? You know, it might have done. The engine has a, engine mixture control is automatic when the mixture level is set to maximum. So instead of where in the MiG-3 and the IL-2, the mixture just be set to automatic was at 50%, now I have to set it to 100%, which is strange. It is also possible to manually lean the mixture by moving the mixture control to less than, yes. Engine RPM has an automatic governor and is maintained at the required RPM responding to the governor control lever position. The governor automatically controls the propeller pitch to maintain the required RPM. So we just have to, we're going to have to fiddle with the RPM. We don't have to worry about prop pitch. Oil radiator shutter and air cooling intake shutters manual. Aircraft has no flight control trimmers, but it is equipped with bendable trim tabs that can be set pre-flight by ground personnel. I don't think we get to play with that much then. Airplane has a manual gear system for landing flaps and, well, gears. For this reason, it's necessary to extend the landing flaps and gear before final approach. Landing flaps can be extended up to any angle up to 53 degrees. The airplane has a tailwheel control mechanism which is linked to rudder pedals. Because of this, it is necessary to avoid large rudder pedal inputs when moving at high speed on the ground. Airplane has independent left and right mechanical wheel brakes. It's funny, the MiG-3 does not have that as far as I remember. The IL-2 definitely does not, but the I-16 does. To brake, it is necessary to push upper part of the rudder pedal, so it's toe brakes. Airplane has a hydrostatic fuel gauge which shows total fuel remaining only when the manual sucker lever is pushed in. In-game, this happens by itself during horizontal flight by every 10 seconds. Okay. What a strange feature. Cockpit has side doors which should be closed before takeoff to prevent damage. You don't have to worry about side doors. Unless the damage model allows them to be shot off. When bombs are installed, there's a salvo controller. It has 2 release modes, single drop or drop 2 in a salvo. When rockets are installed, that doesn't matter. The gun sight is a sliding sun filter. I still don't know how to set that up. But otherwise, this shouldn't be too different from any Russian aircraft we've ever flown, just there's no... Whoa. I'm going to put it on pause to look up the controls for that trim stab. Or that stabilizer. So let's just look through this. It'd be under plane controls. It should probably be labeled I-16. No? Yeah, there's the Focke-Wulf 190s. Adjustable stabilizer axis? I wonder if that's what they mean. I don't know, though. Plane engine controls? That's inlet cowl shutters. Oh, interesting. This has inlet cowls. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Okay, so that's left control plus or minus. Huh. Alright, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Beyond that... Hang on, let's get this thing off the ground. It's being a bit funny. Yeah, it's being really funny. We'll be okay. That was a bit sloppy on my part, but we'll be alright. Okay, flaps are up. I'm still going through the setup. I kind of wish the game would give you a little bit more time to do your pre-flight, but oh well. About to blow right past our squadron leader. Hang on. Or rather, our flight leader. gonna free flight it tomorrow? That's interesting. I didn't think you had the Battle of Moscow. Oh, unless you're talking about it in DCS. I'm trying to get to my my engine cowl controls, but this thing has no vertical trim, so I'm kind of afraid to pull my hand away from the stick. All right. Oh, it looks like it's full open. All right, all right, all right. Yes, no, the I-16 is not in Battle of Stalingrad, it's in Battle of Moscow. I think there are squadrons in IL-2's Stalingrad career that still fly it, but apart from that, no. She is wonderfully fun to fly, though. I kind of like the open cockpit. Yeah, fog indeed. Oh well. You've got better planes to fly anyways. You've got, you know, you've got the Yak, you've got the Lag, you've got one of the 3 models of Sturmovix, you got one of the 3 models of Peshka. I mean, like, you got plenty of planes to fly. You demand only the most garbage planes. Well, the next time it's on sale, consider buying the Ju-52. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where I should be in this formation. I think I'm going to try to nose in between one, I presume, who is 3. What happened to the rest? There's the rest of the squadron. They're taking the tail. As you notice, the controls are all the way below the that, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually how you check to see whether or not the gear or the flaps are lowered. It's some manual indicator. Okay, that's interesting. I'd read it aloud, but honestly, I'm having enough time trying to maintain formation. But yeah, thanks for the tip on the gear indicator. Fortunately, in IL2, you don't have to manually crank the gear. You just press G and it just takes a long time. But 3's kind of crowding me. I have to pick up some altitude. On we go. I'm trying to keep one in a position such that he's in the left side of my canopy and obscured by my viewplate. That's a little bit easier said than done. I can't quite find a throttle position to maintain my airspeed. So I keep jockeying back and forth, back and forth. Sliding too far to the right, I gotta or to the left, I need to correct. This is kind of scary, honestly. Formation flying, honestly, still intimidates me. Oh yeah, no, there is no perfect setting, and yeah, I am absolutely death gripping the joystick here. Because I have to provide the back pressure, otherwise the plane just drops. And I have to kill my airspeed. Slow down. It really is a nose-heavy aircraft, but I suppose most of them are. Bit tight formation. No, I understand what you mean about that phantom feeling. I feel that all the time. Unfortunately, though, this is kind of like the recommended airspeed. We're moving a good 370 something kilometers an hour, so we're not at stall speed for these planes. These things stall at about I want to say something in the range of 100 to 200 kilometers an hour. But they are touchy to fly, and I'm not super fond of the ice shack as anything other than a meme machine. For the record, flying in this thing is probably going to drive me deaf. It's literally nothing but blowing noises directly in my ear. Have I set up a good axis? I don't think I know what you mean. I don't know about setting up a good curve. I just kind of use factory default settings as it works relatively okay so far. Hang on, I need to do some climbing. Left-hand bank. Alright, that means we just passed waypoint 2. Raven 1, I think it's a different fighter squadron, but I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, I'll have to look into setting up an axis. Minute adjustments are always kind of tricky, and I think you can probably tell, but obviously I can't do much about it right now. Maybe before the next time we go up, I'll look into it. I'll just be happy to be back in a plane that has any amount of trim, though. That having vertical trim is just so nice. The nice thing about the I-16 is that she is super maneuverable. We'll be able to outturn pretty much anything the Germans throw at us. looking away from front of center is just... I just lose so much position because the plane dips or something, because my attention isn't full front, so it's rough. I'll try to reply to what comments I can, but I really am just trying to avoid plowing into a buddy. Alright, we're almost to the front line. Yeah, I do kind of wish I had the two-cockpit canopy, but at the same time it is kind of serving as a kind of useful guide to where I want the plane to be in formation. It's just difficult to keep it in that one spot. I'm not so good of a pilot to do that. Especially now with 3 pressuring me on my right. But in a dogfight, this thing's gonna be a liability, I can feel it. Hopefully, there's either no air defense, or no fighter support, or the fighters the Germans send up are just big, stupid 110s. I can deal with a 110. .109s are scary though. Yeah, it is work, but it's rewarding work. Almost like Zen when you have it down, I'd bet. I felt a lot more comfortable doing formation flying in the IL-2. That's just because the IL-2 is slower and it's a little bit more responsive. Or, scratch that, it's less responsive, it's sluggish, but in a formation flying situation, that means it's much easier to make a minute adjustment. And I also had trim, which is nice. And this thing handles itself so quickly that it's just kind of difficult to keep a finger on. Still haven't quite reached the border, but we're about to pass it. Yeah, look at how far I dipped just to get some water. Tracer fire. We must be at the border. It is legitimately quite cool to see flights of fighters like that. Now we have to be extra aware, because that means we're entering German airspace, which means there could be fighters anywhere. Yep, we're in it now. Holy cow, look at that. Machine gun fire, I think. Not seeing any flak bursts. I'm gonna hang a little low and stay underneath. And to rejoin. Have to just push back our comrades here. Yeah, it would be kind of neat to actually see, to be able to pick up where one career left off and just swap around so that way you don't have to keep restarting from checkpoint. But the game doesn't support that functionality, unfortunately. I hope someday it would. I also hope it'd be, it'll allow you to tinker how many flights you have to do a day. IL-2 generally has you do, as far as I can tell, at most 4 flights. Although I think you might be able to do more depending on like certain options you do. But historically, combat pilots during the Second World War flew what, 7, 8 flights a day on average. Whoa, hang on, something's happening. We're gonna stick left side, fall one in. Sorry, Walrus, I'd love to read your comments, but the war demands my attention. I'll try to look at them during the return flight. Where did 2 go? We lost... Does anyone see 2? Where did 2 go? I don't know what happened to him. Or 3, sorry. We're 2. Where did 3 go? Whoa! Bombs away. That was our target right beneath us. Haha! Alright. Fight's on, let's go. Oh, jeez. Every one of the I-16s just ran out of his bingo, so we're heading back out. We're gonna take a course. Oh, we are in trouble. Less than 10 minutes, that's right. Okay, so the I-16's limited range has not been patched for this game. Alright, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to make a pretty much immediate course right back, try to find a friendly airbase. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are shooting at us. The aircraft feels funny. It's handling really odd. I feel like we took damage, but I don't see any sign of it. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, she's really performing weird, but I don't know what's wrong. That's why we dropped only 1 bomb. Alright, we ditched our stores, we're getting out. You know, it performs a lot nicer now that the bombs are gone, but that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Okay, checking our map, we've got an emergency airbase options. Hang on. Hey, Ruby. Nice to have you on. Sorry, things are happening. Alright, we're just making a course out of the combat zone. Where's an airbase? I need something. Okay, so hang on, I think I saw one. Yeah, Ryabinki. Is that the closest to where we're at? Are we 10 minutes away from that? I'm not seeing any other airfields nearby. So we just have to hope we can make it that far in the time we have left. Actually, wow, holy cow. My hand's off the stick. We're maintaining level flight. This thing is exceptionally well balanced now that the bombs are gone. I'll read through your comments, Walrus, including the ones that I missed. The literal moment I touched down, but right now my mind is nothing but adrenaline. I have to see... That's a few kilometers, but 10 minutes is 10 minutes. We'll go for it. If I... Fortunately, the Luftwaffe doesn't seem to be around, so we're kind of on our own. Unfortunately, so too is our squadron. Okay. So we have to go a few kilometers. I don't think we can make it. I don't think we can make 87 kilometers in 10 minutes. Let's see, we're moving at 400 kilometers an hour. So that's 400 divided by 60 is what? We've got 66 kilometers of range. We can't make that. Is there any kind of airfield, any kind of field nearby that we can use as recovery? It's too far away. Alright, we're behind Russian lines, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to touch down... I can't believe that IL-2 is doing this to us. That field to our right looks like a good spot. So that's what we'll do. It's near a Russian town, Melekova. We can try to land there, and presumably our pilot asks for refuel, or... Uh-oh. The Germans have arrived. Alright, 10% flaps. Let's get this plane slowed down. We'll make a, we'll reach the end of that clearing. I'm looking at it. I wish I could point. But, like, right ahead of us. And we'll come in and we'll land the long way. So we've got as much of a strip as we have, as we can get. Alright, we're down to about 270, I would say, kilometers an hour. Which is above our stall speed. It's above our landing speed. It just means we're slow. That's fine. I don't want to have to go too far. I don't think we have to worry about the engine dying, but, yeah, I'm maintaining a low altitude. Alright, we're going to make our right-hand bank for the emergency landing in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to lower the flaps down to 50%. This thing really wants to nose up now. Our airspeed is dropping. I think we're nearly out of fuel. There's no way 10 minutes have passed that quickly. Where's my fuel? I don't think that's it. I think that's temperature or something. I don't know. I don't know the I-16's pit very well. Yeah, the get and landing gear just came down, so we're going to drop down to landing. We've got a nice long field to go with, so that's good. And it looks like a pretty smooth, even grade, so that's also good. It's kind of a sharp landing. Come on. Come on. One of the gears collapsed. Oh, we're good. We landed. Let's finish the mission. Yeah, butter indeed. Ah, that was rough. We made it. Oh, geez, forced landing. Mechanics are gonna be pissed, but... I'm more annoyed at Squadron Lead for sending us out on an I-16 that far. So let's see, they got that. Oh, interesting. It doesn't say we got anything, but I'm pretty sure we dropped a bomb directly on them. Oh well, oh well. Mission's accomplished. We did succeed. Anyways, let me read through what you said. So, the Azazel mode. Every time you die, you possess some other dude in the zone. Be a loner one life and a duty squad leader the next. Something like that would be really nice. Yeah, I have to agree that sounds pretty dope. I kind of wish that it was a thing in IL-2, or just the ability to possess another person in your own squad when your character dies, or their replacement, even if it means like maybe it takes a couple of days for your character to get transferred in. Either one of those sounds interesting to me. And yeah, flying underneath a buddy, it's not ideal, but I don't know what else I could do. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it looks like I was the only. Oh, the mission says failed, but I mean we hit the objective. Yeah, my plane's crashed. It might be repairable. No, it's a write-off. Okay. And they're sending out 3-ship flight to intercept some bombers, but we're not on that flight, so we'll let that tick by. But sorry, Ruby, I didn't really say hello, but hello. It's nice to have you on. Red Rainbow Ruby. Okay, so with that, we're gonna move on to the next day. So, whoop, hang on. That'll be the good luck, fair skies. Yep, take care. It's early for me. I usually start at 7 o'clock. But nice to have you on, Aesop. Soup. But yeah, it's all good. Okay, yeah. So it's the 10th of no, it's the 7th of October, 1941. Heavy weather, clouds at 600 meters. Temperature 1 degree Celsius. Barometric pressure is 732 millimeters mercury. Wind is also again from the south-southwest at 2 meters a second. Okay. So what do we have? We're flying an I-16 again for another artillery position attack. 184 kilometers. Jeez, that's... Why do they keep giving us these missions? That's not a flyable distance with our aircraft. I remember you, Aesop. I was just trying to remember how to pronounce your name. It's nice to have you on again. We're playing some IL-2, although I think... I don't know what to do for this mission, because it's just given us an objective that... It takes all of our fuel pretty much just to get there, though I guess we do have a recovery airfield at Zanino. I guess we could fly it, but it's just like, why? What's the route they take? It's pretty direct. And they use that as a linchpin again. Okay, well. Orders are orders. So aloft we go. I wish they wouldn't throw us in the I-16 for these kinds of missions, but... Okay, we're the 4th in flight. And it looks like they're bringing us with the Fab 5, the Fab 100, 100-pound bombs, and the Shivak 20mm cannons on the wings, so no real difference in strategy there. Alright, let's get set up. dreary, dreary, dreary morning in Moscow. RPM set, let's go. Climbing above the clouds, that should be a bit scary. Fortunately, it's a pretty thin cloud layer. Yeah, I was using caps lock. Yeah, it's a pretty thin cloud layer, fortunately. So we're pretty much above it already, for the most part. I'm gonna head to the right side of this guy. This fourth in flight. Sweet God, he's close. Alright, buddy. Just realized our navigation lights were on. They're off now. Nice long flight south. We're probably going to have to land at a friendly airfield because the I-16 is just not designed for this kind of range. We'll be okay. Unless there's a boatload of Germans, in which case we're in trouble. Close those cowl shutters a little bit. Just we've got less drag, which means more fuel efficiency. Same goes for the, hang on, the engine fuel, make sure I need up it. Actually, why don't we trim that down to about 80%? Or 90%. Gotta save up on all of that nonsense. There's a friendly aircraft lagging way behind. I don't know if you can see that dot. But he's there. Just kind of very distantly behind us. They're outpacing me really well, and I don't know why. Moving pretty fast. We're moving at nearly 400 kilometers an hour. Those MiGs are just outdoing us. Which is funny, because as a squadron we should be flying at 385 kilometers an hour, but okay, we're catching up. It's a bit nerve-wracking to be in this position, with fighters that are so close to you. Sorry, we're going to be hitting an enemy artillery position. Oh, hang on. And we're just basically going to fly there, drop some bombs, and get out. We're not a ground strike squadron, so it's not really our mission, like, it's not really our specialty, but we're capable of carrying bombs, and the mission, or the war demands we do it, so we do it. It's also the reason why this thing's kind of handling a bit funny and being dragged down from the nose. It's carrying two 100-pound bombs. I went beneath everyone because I was going too fast, and I was worried that if I continued my maneuvering, I would either blow too far past them, or I would collide with someone. So I figured the safe measure was just to duck beneath the formation, go back, and try to catch up. Formation flying is difficult, and I'm not great at it. I'm still learning. But, collisions are bad, and it's very easy to have one. So right now I'm just trying to get back into position. The problem with doing what I did there was that it slows me down a lot, and I lose altitude. It's just costly, so I need to be more careful. Okay, to answer your question, yes and no. The map is simulated in a manner that represents the Second World War, but you can't. There's no way for you, for instance, to play as the Germans and win the Second World War based off your sole contribution. In fact, it's impossible for history to play out from a broad strokes perspective opposite to what happened. The Germans will lose at Moscow, they will lose at Stalingrad, and they will lose at Kuban. What you can do, however, is affect both how your squadron does down to personnel. These are all pilots that persist between missions, and if they die, they die. These are planes that are maintained by the squadron's mechanics. If they're destroyed, and we have to wait for replacements. Ditto for the pilots. And the same is done for the opposing side as well. And for all other squadrons, they have their own roster of planes and of pilots. You shooting down enemy planes will reduce the strength of that squadron until it's reinforced. Same on. And the AI flies missions when you're not, so an entire day of sorties is planned and played by the AI, whether or not you're actually there, per se. The only missions you fly are the ones you're assigned to. The reason why it looks like the screen is moving with my head movement is because it is moving with my head movement. I have... That thing right there is called Track IR. It is a infrared head tracking device. There's a camera on the... Hang on. I screwed up again. There's a camera attached next to my actual web camera that reads infrared light, and it processes it. It uses a system of 3-point triangulation, and from those 3 points, it's able to tell both pitch, yaw, roll, and translation. So the reason why it looks like the screen's moving, my head's moving, is because the screen is moving when my head's moving. It's a 1-for-1. Yep, it is not just for show, although from an aesthetic perspective, I have to say it is not a very pretty piece of kit. But hey, if it works, it works. That's a rather interesting, I don't know if you guys can see that. One of the skybox textures looks a little bit funny. There's like a line down it, it's really sharp. Oh well, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, the LED is what it's going for. Those are the lights that it's looking at, which is why they show up as white on the camera. It's not in the visible spectrum. Although if I were to look at it, the lights look red, and for whatever reason the web camera reads it as white. So who knows? But yes, it's all in the infrared visual spectrum. They look purple from here. Interesting. Well, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to try to rejoin the formation. Alright, we passed waypoint 2 and we're approaching the German line. It's been a long flight, and it'll be a longer flight still. Where's my fuel? There's... it's really... I can't really easily look down at my instruments, because if I do, I lose track of where the horizon is and the plane starts to dip. I think that's temperature, and yeah, I tried to correct too much by automatic, so we just pulled up. I don't see where fuel's on here. I'm trying to find... I'm not very familiar with this aircraft. They just assigned it to me for this mission. And some controls I recognize because they're universal across Russian aircraft, but some of them are specific. And fuel is the one I'm trying to locate because I need to know how much time I have to get back. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. Yeah, the airport I was looking at on the map, the one right next to the front line, if fuel becomes an issue, we'll just land there. We don't have to worry about getting captured or anything like that. We'll have to exit the mission. Presumably our pilot would fly back between missions, but we don't fly that. However, when the squadron inevitably does rebase, we will fly that unless we're wounded. Basically, there will come a point where the German advance towards Moscow will overrun Migalovo Air Base, which is where we're at. Or Migalovo Airfield, I'm not overly sure on the nomenclature. And when that happens, we have to fly our aircraft out to our new home, which is further back. But that won't happen for a couple of in-game weeks. Okay, I need to get back into position. One of the reasons why this plane is so heavy is, like I said, we've got 2 bombs underneath the wings, so I have to be careful. And I don't have it set up so they both drop at once, so I'll have to make sure that I hit the deploy button as fast as possible, so they both come off the wing. If there's a mixed smash on if there's a bomb on one wing and a bomb not on the other wing, it will affect performance. The plane will want to roll that direction because it's being pulled down by the weight. It would be kind of funny if, yeah, they did kind of leave you there and just said, okay, you're with that squadron now. But the mission, whatever internal logic drives the missions, doesn't take into account the fact that the I-16, which is what we're flying, compared to the MiG-3s, which is what those planes are, to our left and right, the I-16 just has less fuel capacity. It can't fly that long. So really, we should have turned back about a couple minutes ago if we wanted to make it back. And this won't be a problem once the Germans get closer, but right now it's a massive concern for me. And I've tried to cut corners a little so that we can have as much fuel as possible, but there's no guarantee how much time we'll earn from that. I am really concerned I'm going to collide into someone. Hang on. We're blowing past them all. Yep, just gotta let them fly overhead. I completely lost the ball. That was my bad. I was maneuvering sloppy. Oh, hey, our buddy finally caught up with us. Oh, good on you, friend. He'd been that little dot I kept looking back at. Looks like he finally made it to the rest of the squadron. Unless there's another dot back there. No, it looks clean. And I'm not seeing any other dots on the horizon, so as far as I know, we're the only aircraft in the air right now, at least in this area. If you're wondering why I'm checking my phone, it's because I've got the Twitch app open and that's where I'm reading comments. It's not a very elegant solution, but it works. Yep, thanks, Lib. Also nice to have you on for a bit. I complained about this in the last flight, but flying in the I-16 is near deafening. I don't know how loud I'm talking. I'm talking so I can hear myself over the engine noise, and my headphones are at 30% volume. In a plane that has a proper canopy that's closed, this is fine, but the noise is fine at this volume. But in this thing, it's just wind and engine noises. Ah, okay. Beagle's doing Blood Bowl. Alright, so it looks like I'll probably have you for the rest of the night then, at least for a little while. I'm glad you guys can hear me clearly. But, as far as I can tell, from if there was somebody watching from my door, I'd just look like I'd be screaming at nothing. I really don't like formation flying in a fighter aircraft. They're just so touchy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try to... Okay, so that much happened while I had the map open. One of the funny things about the I-16, I was talking about this during the first flight, is that it has no trim. So I am constantly having to provide back pressure to the stick to keep it from pitching down, which is why it's kind of unsteady. Which also is tiring my hand out, because I've got something approaching a death grip on this thing. I do have a Steam profile. When I finish this flight, I'll go on my Discord and I'll post it for those interested. You all seem like a decent sort. I don't have like strangers running around, so I'm not uncomfortable with putting that information out there, at least for now. And yeah, I live. That's why it seems so bouncy. Once we drop the bombs, this thing is actually much more stable. But until then, I'm just giving my forearm a workout. It's unfortunate. You don't ever really have a sense with a video game. For obvious reasons, you don't ever really get that sense of what it was like to be a pilot, and you have that in these aircraft, and the kind of physical fatigue they felt. But you kind of understand where they would feel the physical fatigue. I mean, I gotta tell you, my eyes get kind of screwed up after flying for a while because I have to focus on every dot. And if I can actually get into formation, you'll notice that I'll just start looking at the plane, which just is kind of like middle distance on your end. And I'll just do like a 1,000-yard stare, and it's just a practically unblinking stare because I'm too afraid to keep my eyes off it. Some aircraft have really weird quirks, like the 109 series has, there's like a weird bias in the yaw that you have to constantly correct for by giving it rudder, and that can tire her out. It's all very complicated. Okay, so I don't remember what the I in I-16 stands for, so I'll have to give that thing a pass, but Russian aircraft design, typically aircraft are named after its developers. So for the MiG, it's the names of the two developers. I wish I could remember their names off the top of my head. My mind's kind of a blank right now. Somebody could go on Google and pull that up. But the MiG-3 is a air supremacy fighter that has the capability to carry bombs and rockets around. But during the early part of the Second World War, that was the primary fighter aircraft of the Soviet Union. The plane I am flying is the I-16, which was a fighter aircraft that the MiG-3 would replace, that was built during the interwar periods, during the 1920s and 1930s, which is why it has an open canopy and kind of a fat design body. The I-16 is the product of what was considered to be the apex of aircraft design in the 1920s. And the MiG-3 is the apex of aircraft designs in the 1930s, and so on and so forth. The IL-2, which I mentioned a few times, this one I actually remember the name of the developer. Ilyushin. The Ilyushin 2. It is a ground strike aircraft. In fact, that's what the word Sturmovik means in Russian, is ground attack aircraft, I believe, or ground attack. And it was a big, heavy craft, single engine, designed to carry bombs and rockets and attack ground targets. And it was known for being very heavily armored and difficult to shoot down. Yeah, Mikai something or other. I wish I could remember, but my mind's kind of a blank. I mean, SU is pretty simple, that's Sukhoi, but I don't believe Sukhoi existed in the 1940s. The LA, like the LA-5, and the LA in LAG, LAGG, that man's name is Lavochkin, that I remember as well. But I don't remember the name of the others, I'm sorry. If I could, when the flight's over, I'll look it up. But the, yeah, as we're in a fighter squadron, all the aircraft we have are fighter aircraft, and we're flying I-16s mixed with MiG-3s because it's just a desperate time. The Russian Air Force was not completely modernized. It was still reeling from losses during the opening days of what the Russians would come to call the Great Patriotic War, which opened on 22nd of June. Uh-oh, we've got Storks pulling one. So our I-16 buddy just ducked out because of fuel, which means that we might be joining him soon. Alright, I'll have to talk later because we just entered the combat zone. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop our bombs, then we're going to head immediately out, or as soon as we get the 10-minute warning, because the recovery airfield is less than 10 minutes away, and that's flak. Germans know we're here, so we'll have to be careful. Okay, the scary thing about doing ground attack in a fighter aircraft, it's not armored. It's really not meant for this. So while in the Sturmovik we could take a pounding, this thing might crumple if we take a hit. And that could kill us, or it means we have to bail out, and that just means we're captured if we bail out in German territory. We're just going to follow our buddies in. Fortunately, it's just, well, fortunately, quote-unquote, it's just air defense. There's no fighters yet, so we're doing okay on that front. There's the gun position. Let's do this. Bombs away. Let's get out of here. Hey, we got targets. Alright, we hit something. I lost sight of the rest of the squadron. Something's definitely got our number, though. You can see the tracers arcing up at us. Alright, I haven't gotten the 10-minute warning, so we're going to go back in. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's damage to our left wing. I'm feeling a bit of shakiness in the control surface, but the engine's okay. Okay. Let me. Yeah. That's enough for me to decide for us to go home. If you can, when I was flying the last sortie and I dropped both of the bombs. Whoa, hang on. What was that? When I dropped both of the bombs, I was able to maintain level flight. But right now it's rolling and pitching down, which means that our lift is compromised on the left side. That's no longer giving us lift, so we're going to RTV. Checking our compass, we're heading due north, which should take us out of the German front line. We have to watch out for flak, though, because they can still snipe us from this distance, but yeah, we're out. Just firing a flare. Let them know. Let's get out of here. Yeah, you see, they're bracketing us with flak, which means they very much want a piece of us. Alright, we're out. We're just about across the front line. Where's that aerodrome? I think that's it to our right. Yeah, I can see the hangars. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a pass. We've still got fuel. I haven't gotten the 10-minute warning yet. So we've got time to do this safely. Yep, there's the 10-minute call. Alright, alright. I'll look at comments as soon as I've landed. Huh, that's funny. We just got a target destroyed call way after we left. Sometimes the AI calls that stuff out like way later than it should. We'll come in over the hangars, so I'm going to start getting ready. Flaps at 25%. It's going to want to pitch up. That's fine, I just have to provide some front pressure. I'm going to start lowering the gears. That'll take a while because it's a manual gear. In fact, yep, there he is. You can see the gears being cranked down, which is oh man, what a product of the era. The MiG-3 does not have this problem, but this bad boy, yeah, it does. In fact, I should be able to see the track. Yep, you can see it. So that little ball slowly moving, it's at the 70-degree mark. That's to say how low the gear is. It's at 70 degrees. Once it hits 90 degrees, it's fully deployed, so we're still cranking it down. Landing gear's been released. Still deploying. Unless release means it's all the way down, I can't exactly lean my head around the plane and check. We're going to start our approach. I'm going to turn on the... Did you hear that? I swear I just heard a banging noise. That might have been the gear doing something. There's no fire. We're not being shot at. That's concerning. I don't know where that came from. Come on, baby. Let's set you down somewhere. I think realistically, given the condition of the aircraft, what would probably happen is that we would be trucked back. The aircraft would be trucked back for repairs. This is going to be a bit hairy. Let's see if we can't do that. Oh, I'm not even sure if this is the right approach. We're going to see what happens. Yeah, we're coming in the short weight. Shoot, I might have made a... Uh-oh. Why are those guns firing? Alright, we'll turn left. Oh, that was a botch, but we made it, we made it, we made it. Oh, that was so hairy. When it started to look like I was about to plow into it wing first. We're okay. We're okay, we're okay, we're okay. I just need to make sure I don't roll the plane over nose first. Holy God. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. Whoa. I'll read your comments. Yeah, forced landing. Okay, it turns out we didn't hit anything even though the game was saying that we did. Who knows? This game sometimes. But we made it. Okay, so, I'll read through your comments. Okay, are there any games like this but for Japan or naval aircraft in general? Well, okay. Let me think. For naval aircraft in a modern perspective, Digital Combat Simulator, which is another Russian-made flight sim, has several naval fighter craft, such as the FA-18 Hornet, the F-14. I think it's the B Tomcat, might be the D, and also I believe the one of the Su-33, which I think is a naval fighter. I'd have to check, but that's with jets. Um, they've been working on a Pacific expansion for a while, but it got shelved due to lack of research being available for this game. But the original IL-2, which came out when I was a kid, so about 2001, there was a Pacific expansion pack for that. It's pretty cheap on both Steam and GOG.com. I'd recommend it. There's a lot of great mods for it, and yes, you can fly Zeros and Hellcats and Wildcats and all that stuff. And thanks, Lib. I appreciate the well wishing. I'm honestly kind of amazed we survived that. But we did it. And in fact, our aircraft did not take significant enough damage to be necessitating repairs. We came back okay. Oh, it's considered crashed? Really? Oh. Oh well. Never mind. What do I know? Anyways, the rest of the squadron's going to go up for a vehicle column attack. Most of them are flying I-16, so I look forward to seeing how that goes. All that matters is the zero engines die when you try to pull zero-G maneuvers. I believe I believe IL-2 tracks that. Um, I know that's behavior that's in the Spitfires in that game as well, because the early model Spitfires very much could not handle zero-G. There was no fuel injection. Okay, so one of the MiGs got damaged. Okay, that's that day. We're going to go move on to the next one. It's only 8:35, really. Yeah, though, I'm pretty sure flight performance is not too badly simulated in that old game. And there's like a bajillion mods if something about it irked you. Oh, okay, air operations suspended on the 8th, probably due to bad weather. Okay, okay, I fixed it. I still haven't replaced the keyboard, and it locked up on me, and I didn't realize. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah, the bad weather thing, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but if the weather is too severe and the visibility is too low, it's just not worth sending aircraft out, because that means you have a pretty high chance of collisions or crashes or whatnot. And this is before we have any kind of computer guidance by a couple decades, really. So it's in best interest for aircraft squadrons just to stay grounded. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but that is how it was worked, or that is how it worked. Anyways, let's get to the next mission. Given how long each of these missions have been, we might actually be able to fly a record number of them today. I'm not sure how many. Oh, fly. Yeah, I imagine it'd suck even more while on the defensive. Yeah. Yeah, you could really feel it. During the Battle of the Bulge during December of 1944 on the West Front, Allied air cover was grounded for days and days due to severe snow, which gave the Germans a pretty decisive advantage early in. That was their last great offensive on the West Front, if you're not familiar. And they had planned it rather specifically, but in the end, they were repelled. Obviously, because we won the damn thing. Okay, so let's look at what they've given us. Okay, it's an identical loadout as to the last time. Ooh, yeah, bulge. This was a long time before really any of that kind of phraseology existed. So to them, a bulge was just a pocket. But who knows? Maybe the historians were just really horny that day. Anyways. I watched Extra History, I got it. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's get set up. Oh, we're fourth in flight. I didn't quite look at that. Yeah, so once this guy goes on our right, we leave. That was a bit shaky. It kept spinning all over the place, but we're okay. It's just being a bit of a pain. I couldn't quite keep it steady, but we're alright. Okay. Alright, once we get back to level flight, I'll turn down the RPM of the propeller and... Whoa, easy there, buddy. Easy, easy, easy. Come on, holy... You... Mother... What a jerk! Absolute lunatic with a death wish. Well, we're above him now. And trust me, the temptation's real strong to just blow him away with our cannon, but unfortunately, friendly fire is looked down upon by the commissariat. I'll look at your comments as soon as we stabilize our flight a little here. This cloud level is concerning. And you... Whoa, my god! We hit somebody. Well, that's an easy end to that one. We were lucky. That could have ended much poorer. This answers your question as to why they didn't like sending planes up during bad weather. Just not my game. Yeah, it really wasn't. He was above me. I lost sight of him because I was too busy looking for the maniac on my right. I'm pretty sure it was one of the other I-16s that hit me. We're okay. The squadron commander might be a little bit annoyed, but I don't really care what he thinks. Funnily enough, we were the only aircraft that was considered crashed. I guess the other guy was able to limp his plane back home. Alright, well, for us, this war is over, or today's war is over. We'll just proceed on with the timeline. I'm a bit annoyed that happened, but at least we have parachutes. When I got back into flight sims about 2 years ago, I flew in the game that was made by the same people before this one, Rise of Flight, which is a World War I flight simulator. I don't have to tell you what happens if you have a mid-air collision and there's no such thing as a parachute. Lots of dead pilots is the answer. Anywho. Let's get back into it. On the plus side, we're that much closer to the next phase of the war. Maybe the squadron has too few I-16s to send us up on I-16s. 10th October, clear weather, thank God. -2 degrees Celsius, barometric pressure 757 millimeters mercury, winds to the south at 2 meters a second. Oh, interesting. We're leading this one. It's a bunch of junior pilots, but we're actually in charge of this flight. That's a bit scary, actually. Where are we going? So we're here, and we're heading to Osuga. Osuga. It's 7:55. It's 126 kilometers away, so our I-16 in the flight might have issues. But we're flying the Big 3, which is great. My ears thank me. Remember that one skydiver who got caught in an air current for 30 minutes? No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that story. Jeez, I can't believe we're leading one. I guess it might be a test of some kind. But yeah, Vadim Stepanov. Everybody in this flight, by the way, is junior lieutenants. They're all roughly as inexperienced as me. So we're going to be providing air cover for ground forces near the front line. So basically, we're just going to be providing air cover. If fighter craft or bombers or ground attack or whatever comes in, we're going to have to kill it. The MiG-3 I'm rather familiar with, which is good. What guns have they given us? They've given us the... Okay, they replaced the default Chikas and BS nose-mounted cannons. So instead of having... What is the Chikas fire anyways? What is that? I think it probably fires 7.62, and this is a 50 caliber, or a 12.7 millimeter. So, if that's what the squadron wants us to fly with, that's what the squadron wants us to fly with. We've got 480 liters of fuel, which is a lot. 200 meter gun convergence. I think we should be okay. So let's work through this flight plan, because I need to be a little bit careful. Okay, we're heading southeast bound at bearing 170. And then we're going to hook right to waypoint 2 at 217 for 57 kilometers, and then we head to our patrol zone, and then we egress at bearing 35 to the city of Staritsa, and then from there we go to our landing approach. So it should be relatively straightforward. Alright, we're cleared for takeoff. Let's go. Rotate. Whoop, easy there, easy there. We'll be okay. Whoa! Alright, he just managed to vault past us, it's okay. Don't worry about them unless they collide. They'll move into position. They just beat us out the door. Okay, alright. Let's just keep climbing. Okay, let's gonna start our bank to the right. Engine RPM's in a good spot. Let's just get this thing under control and start flying out. Okay, we're off course. I've got to correct over to the left. The bearing we're looking for was 217. So, let's just navigate over to that. It's alright if we make little snafus. This is our first time leading, after all. I would say that's good, so I'm going to roll her out. Okay. Our altitude is 2,000 meters, so we're going to keep climbing. The rest of our flight's behind us, you can see them. They're moving to catch up, they'll get with us in a second. So, because this plane has actual trim, I can keep my hand off the stick and read what you guys are saying. Not much more to it. The description seemed pretty horrifying. It was this updraft that would suck her up in the air whenever she fell far enough to hit it. That is kind of terrifying. Though presumably she came out of it at some point, and I'm glad that she survived. But yeah, the wind is weird like that. Yeah, we're on course now. We're not going to hit the line exactly, but we'll meet up at the waypoint where we should. Once we hit 2,000 meters, we'll trim this thing out for level flight, and we'll just carry on. Have to adjust a little. We're a little bit off course. We're about to hit the target altitude, which is good. I'm about to level us out. Alright, I think just let the plane dip a little. Alright, we're good here. Alright, now it's just pretty much hands-off flight straight to the objective. Which is great. I can actually think now. We should be maintaining an airspeed. Hang on, we're climbing a little bit, so I'm going to descend a little. I don't think I had the pitch trim quite right. Okay, so you guys can all see me, right? We're all good? It looks like there was a temporary connection problem, but it looks like we're okay. At least that's what my computer's telling me. Happened the exact moment I did something that always causes the other programs to freeze, so I got rather confused. Well, that's odd, because I got a connection notification saying that I had lost connection. So I'm not sure if you actually did anything. I'm trying to work out my yaw, but it keeps wanting to roll one way or the other, and I don't understand why. Was I giving it, like, really gentle rudder input? Maybe. Wow, we've lost a lot of altitude. I'm gonna climb. Alright, we're gonna climb back up to altitude and try to keep this thing flying properly. I don't know why it's rolling over slightly like this. We're not carrying bombs, but there's just a gentle yaw input. And I don't know what's causing it. It's just phantom. I'm trying to trim it out, but it keeps untrimming somehow. Or it keeps freaking out. I don't know. Could be automatic. Something to do with the governor. I don't know where the rest of my squadron is. We've got to make a bank to the right now. So we're banking over to 231. Which actually I think we're at right about here. Where did the rest of my flight go? Why did they vanish? Let's try to call them back in. Track IR actually freezes if you pull out the formation menu, which is kind of frustrating. But these things, they happen. I really wish I knew where they went. I can't get a visual fix on them. They should be trying to follow me, so I'm not overly worried about it. Just confused. Okay, we're nearly to the target zone. Ah, there they are. I see one of them. He's taking my 6 o'clock position. Told him to kick out to my right edge. Yep, here they come. I think that is the formation we should be doing. Not sure where my buddies ran off to, and I'm a bit worried by that. But we're at the right altitude, which is good. I hope they're alright. Or better yet, they don't collide into me. That'd be good. I don't see them below me anywhere. I'm hearing something funny, but I can't isolate it. It's showing up on this end? What do you mean? The sound? Like that? I don't know what you mean by it. Again, I don't understand why this plane keeps losing stability. Something's funny with this aircraft. I don't know what it is, but there's something funny with it. The sound, like windshield wipers scraping the glass. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, or that's what it sounded like. I haven't heard it in a while. I don't know what that was. I'm very curious. Here, brace yourselves, dear viewers. I'm going to open up the canopy. Try to do a visual inspection. Oh, that's funny. Why didn't it open? Why isn't it opening? Are we moving? Oh, we're moving too fast. I can't get it open. Yeah, it's just bizarre. Just bizarre. This plane is... Something's funny with this aircraft, this particular one. Not even like the whole squadron lineup, just this one particular aircraft. Okay, there's one of our other guys. Oh, hang on, we're banking. I've got it correct, we're going off course by a lot. That's our MiG. Where is the I-16 that should be dogging us? Because he's number 2 in the flight. Alright, let's turn in. We're in the objective area, but... I'm not hearing calls from our ground coordinator to say that we should be doing things. We haven't even heard a call in. So let's just try to get back on point. Okay, here we go, 231. Let's check the engine. RPM steady. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with this aircraft. I'm gonna Knock it down to 85%. Okay, we just called in that we're in the AO. Right, yeah, sorry, I wasn't hitting caps lock. Now that we're in the sector, what we're going to do is we're just going to go on a right-hand bank in a second and just go in circles for a bit until, well, until either we see enemy contacts or we get told to go home. So, our patrol really starts beginning in earnest. I'm going to put her in the bank. Just in circles we go. Somewhere beneath us are our comrades. We're relying on us to protect them, so we just need to scan the horizon and see if anything comes out to play. There's no guarantee that anything will. It might just be a boring patrol. We just go in circles for about half an hour or so and then we go home. It's really impossible to say what's going to happen. I have to tighten up this circle. We're a little bit too loosey-goosey. I'm going to straighten her out. Let's see. I see nothing. That's a scratch on the glass. I thought that was something, but no. No. Hang on, there's a dot. But I think that might be a friend. Let's see, given rough positioning, yeah, it's a friend. They're doing a much tighter inner circle over the AO than I am, but those are our guys right there. There's that second dot. Yep. Okay, so 2. I don't know how much of this you guys can see, but to me they're just kind of faint little specks on the horizon. Hang on. Okay, so the I-16's bingo, so it's going to return to base. So it's just going to be me and 3 who are the 2 MiGs. God only knows if 2 of us is enough. I've got to keep my eyes peeled for anything. Got to block the sun out. If I were to expect Germans, they'd come from the south-ish, because we're not too far away, actually, from the German front line. Where's our comrade? He's making a turning circle right near where we are, but I'm not seeing him. There he is. He's right there, center of field. We're going to go ahead and pull in with him. While I do that, let me just make a sweep. The ground spotters will call out and say if anything's around, probably before we notice them, but it never hurts to be vigilant. At the moment, though, I don't see anything. Hopefully it stays that way, but there's no promises. Alright, so where did 3 go? He was around here. There he is, I see him. I swear I just heard something. Okay, there's our buddy. He was obscured by the sun, but he's that little speck moving away from us. So we'll be able to get up with him soon. Yep, there he is. Hello. We'll have to be careful when joining his turning circle so that we don't collide, but I don't think we'll have much trouble. Oh, we've been climbing so high that we've activated our oxygen breathing system. We'll have to duck down. Whoa, 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 whoa. I had complete sound loss for a second there. That was eerie. So we'll just do a practice pursuit and roll in on him to get behind him. We're not going to shoot him, obviously, he's our friend. It's just a good way to faff about and get familiar with this aircraft. This, of course, bleeds off our airspeed real quick, but that's okay. Okay, I've got to keep an eye out. Anything can be about. We've more or less merged with our friend, which is the good news. Raven squadron's in the area, and they're doing their job. We're not Raven, so I'm not terribly worried about that. Unless something starts showing up near us. Lower my altitude a little by diving. Yeah, all quiet on the eastern front, it seems, for now. There's the bridge that the Germans would be going after if they sent anybody after us at all. That down there. But, yeah, no bomber flights, no ground attack aircraft, nothing. It's nice and quiet. which is horrifically boring for you, dear audience, but for me it's a bit of a sigh of relief. Because it means nobody's trying to kill me at the moment, that I can tell. Let's see, how we doing down here? We're good on temperature and all sorts of things, so I think we're okay. Stork, this is Storm. Intercept enemy bombers to the south. Okay, well, so much for that. Alright, we're gonna have to make a rightward heading. Bomber sighted, 2 o'clock, engage. Where? Where? They're coming towards us. Somewhere to that bearing. High, low. I don't have any eyes on them. According to the radar, it's not really radar, it's supposed to represent, oh, there they are. Oh, interesting. Yeah, now I see our guy. Let's get set up for our own pass. It might be a flight of 2 Stukas or 109 E7s. That is our guy, yep, that's a MiG. We're going to follow him in. Oh. Shoot, I completely lost sight of everything. Reset, reset, reset. Gotta roll the plane over and figure this out. Okay, there they are. They might be HE-111s. How much longer is the stream running? I'm not sure. I was thinking after the sortie I'd just do some cooldown in Arma and then I would stop. So probably another hour or so, maybe less. Okay, so there's the bombers. Let's go after them. Alright, now we're in combat mode. Let's do this. That rear bomber is leaking aircraft fuel. So we're going to try to merge with him. Oh wait, that's not a bomber. That's our guy. That's a MiG. There's the bombers themselves. Alright, let's pull up on them. Come on, don't trade shots like that. You're going to get yourself killed. Back off. Alright, let's do this. We're going to get up right on it. Try to give it all we've got. I hope he's okay. That's a steep pitch. Alright, we're going in. Alright, we've damaged it. Oh, that's not a HE-111, that's a Ju-88. That thing can double as a dive bomber in the right situation. We're gonna duck in on his buddy. We're okay, we just took a glancing blow. Alright, let's turn in on these guys. We're not letting them go home. Not yet. Alright, up we go. Come on. Give us the energy to dive back down. And climbing. That's a good hit. Ooh, ooh. Oil system didn't hit. We'll be okay. Alright, that plane is... Let's put a last couple of shots in and let's go home. Come on, go down already. Alright, that's good enough. We're heading out. Alright, watch oil pressure. Our plane's damaged, but it's okay. We're going to just head for the nearest Russian airbase and land there. I'm just making an emergency landing. And by my map, that nearest airbase would be here, Borky. So we're going to have to navigate that way unless there's one closer. I'm not seeing one. Come on, open up the canopy. There we go. Okay, canopy's open. We're going to need it. Yep. We're leaking oil. What damage we caused is, I don't know if we necessarily doomed that aircraft, but we hit it enough, so I think both barrels for you. Yeah, I mean, we gave it a good shellacking. I don't know if it's going to be bad enough to kill it, but, I don't know. We messed it up. Let's just try to get out of here. I can't tell him to RTB for whatever reason, which is annoying. There, return to information. Hopefully that tells him to go home. Yeah, he's leaking fuel, but I've got the more serious damage. My oil system. This, again, should not doom us. Oh, there's a closer airbase. Riev. Alright, we'll head for that then. Where do I see oil pressure? I think it's that dial on the right. I don't know. We'll be okay. Well, actually, both Borky and Riev are about the same distance. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. We're gonna start a steady descent to get us down to about well, I would say about 500 meters. Yeah, they had a bad day. Yeah, I mean, they got absolutely hammered by 50 caliber rounds to the point where pretty much all of their engines were smoking or leaking or whatever. I'm not disappointed by our progress. I overcommitted, really, but we managed to get away with it. So Borky's just across that river. Just an issue of getting there. So there's one flight sim where you had to, when you fly to Warthog, why do modern planes have literal dozens of switches and buttons? That's because modern jets have a lot more to play with. I know the sim you're talking about, or at least I'm pretty sure. So one of the reasons why modern aircraft are so much more complicated is because jet engines are more complicated. And also that aircraft have avionics, where this is all relatively manual, like gyroscopes and compasses and all that. We're talking fly-by-wire systems. We're talking... Oh, there's the Ju-88. Okay, it's got confirmed by, I guess, ground spotters. We're talking literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of components that you have to keep an eye on, let alone things as simple as radios. So, yeah, it's way more complicated. Whereas in the Second World War, or even in the First, it's just kind of like, here's your plane, here's a throttle, have fun, so to speak. Anyways, the airbase should be around here. In fact, it should be at our 9 o'clock, or our 3 o'clock, rather. Yeah, we should be vectoring in on it, but I don't see it. Should be due in front of us. We're going to start signaling for landing. Hopefully. Our squadron... Yeah, our squadron mate's still with us, but he's probably not going to do anything. He'll wave off once he realizes that we're coming in for a landing, probably. Yep, he's going up and above us. I don't know what he's planning on doing, but... There it is. It was hidden by the trees. Alright, can we land? Are we moving too fast? No, we might actually be able to do this. Alright, it'll be a little bit awkward, but we're gonna be okay. That was a botch, but we're okay, we're okay. We're okay, we're okay. Oh, ground wheel, ground loop. It's okay, it's alright, we're good, we're good. Despite the noise, it's actually not that bad, it's just awkward. Okay, we've technically landed. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Alright, we landed. We're good. I don't know if it'll count it as a crash or not, but we got it, we did it. Alright, looking at that. Where did we manage to... Where did that aircraft... Oh, wow, it was right there when it came down. So it must have... I wonder what happened. Yeah, there's us. Friendly. Oh, it counts as destroyed. That's interesting. Oh, well. Ooh, boy. I am tired. It's a lot to do. We're going to switch over to something a little bit less crazy. Hey, we got the medal for courage. It's Vadgia? Vadgia? I'm not overly sure. And we got an aircraft kill bonus. 1,000 rupees. How about that? So we've got a grand total of 2,000 ruples, 2 medals, for 2 planes. I think we did pretty good, all things considered. What did the squadron consider our plane? Our plane is considered crashed. Okay, we're going to start annoying somebody at some point. The AI is going to go up and do its flight, and then we're going to stop and change gears for what's left of the stream. How much were rubles worth back then? Because now that's like 20 bucks. I honestly do not know. Just gonna move things out of the way. Looks like the escort bomber mission went okay, but we had a damaged MiG. Looks like they managed to bring down a heavy craft. That's funny. I wonder how that happened. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and take us back to the main menu and boot up Arma. But that's it for the IL-2 part for today. Done good. We've nearly caught up with where Peter was when he fell in action. Is Formula 1 having a sale? Oh wow, they are. It's a shame I don't have a... It's a shame I don't have any racing equipment. Anyways. Oh god, I missed so many notifications. Alright, we'll just boot up our standard single-player loadout. Let that run, and when that finishes booting... Arma's booting, and when it finishes booting, I'll change gears. Woof. I think that's more sorties I've done on stream than I really ever have. Although I don't know how much you can count that one sortie where we got immediately taken down by idiot teammates. But still, you know, if we count that, that's 4 sorties. Alright, let me go ahead and change gears. Officially, I'll have to update the... Oh, it already switched over to Arma. Thanks. Close that out. Reply to some messages. Okay, now that we're back in Arma, how do we want to spend our time? I kind of want to just screw around. How do we want to do this? Let's see what this is. I've never done these time trials before. Seems like a good meme. Alright. So we have to beat 3 minutes, 23 seconds. Okay. Oh, hang on. Arma's not reading the tracker. Let's see. Controls, controller, refresh. Okay, now it's found it. 3, 2, 1, go! Let's go! I have no idea where I'm going. God, that Operation Flashpoint music. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, navigated that with ease. Oh, what fresh hell is this? We're good, we're good. Alright, we're taking a left up ahead. Oh, come on. Why? What? Okay, we're good. Oh, I see. It's like a simulated flight. So now we... Southward, southward, southward. To waypoint 10, which should be on our right. Okay. Oh, come on. Really, Arma? Come on. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna have to make up time for that. That was awkward. Oh man, we were going fast. We're going probably too fast. Really, the tree? Oh, I see. We're supposed to... Oh. We're supposed to take like a hold down position. Oh, we were supposed to push it. I'm an idiot. We might have to retry this if we want the optimal speed. What is happening? Where is the objective? What? What am I supposed to... I have my gun for some reason. Alright, we'll have to restart. Okay... I don't understand. That waypoint makes no sense. Okay. That's concerning. Are we being shot at? The waypoint. Why haven't we gotten the waypoint? Are we supposed to go down? Oh, I see. We were supposed to maneuver down past the truck. Oh. Tank drifting. Let's go. Yeah, I see. Alright, we screwed that up. yeah, we'll have to try this again. Now that I have a slightly firmer idea of the mechanics. Alright, we head this way towards waypoint 15. This way. Straight on to the finish, which is down here. Okay, alright. I think I have an idea of how this works now. We missed the finish line, hang on. Wow, that thing must be made of, like, reinforced uranium.
Give it another go.
Alright, alright, where's the restart? That's quit. Here we go.
Let's try again.
Let's do this. Actually, pause it for a second, so I can read a conversation. Sorry, I had to leave somebody in the lurch while we went, so let's go. These tank time trials are fun. We should try the IDAP ones next. Come on, this thing can move faster than that. Come on. Barely tapped it. Come on. Bloody hell. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna beat the time then. Might have to go again or just try again some other time. We'll have to see how aggressively I can push this thing. Bonk. Okay, so at 10 we stay and then we reverse out.
Stay. Checkpoint clear.
Good, good, good. Let's back up. South, south, south. Let's go. Back onto the road. There we go. Okay, now we're moving. Alright, this time we don't do what we did before. We navigate around this and we blow right through that barricade. Ah, shoot. We missed it. Forgot it was a left-hand turn. Ah! Bugger. Yeah, that kills our time. Alright, for this we have to navigate down into the ditch. Yep, there goes max rank. There goes second rank. Ah. Piss. Stuck on a rock, yep. Oh, you can. Oh, you're heading out. All right. I think at that point I'll just wrap it up. Nobody seems to be on. Okay, everyone. I think we'll call it there. It was nice flying with you all. I hope you all take care and have a nice night. Till then, see you.